Back inside Big 12 today here on Big 12 Radio. You're watching us on Big 12 Studios here at the Monster Energy Big 12 Football Media Days. Taylor McCard, James Westling, joined now by BYU head coach Kalani Sitake. And, Coach, this time last year, there were so many questions surrounding your football program with who's the quarterback going to be?
Yeah, I mean, we know who our mascot is, that's for sure.
There were no questions about the mascot and if Cosmo can dance. Those have been answered for decades. But like this time last year, you guys you weren't really on anybody's radar because of the quarterback situation. Is it going to be one of the veterans? Is it going to be this true freshman who just arrived on campus? This year is very different based off of what happened last season. So did last season surprise you in any way? Did you know that your football team was capable of putting together that kind of year, and how does that translate to this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, when you have great leadership on the team and you have amazing young men, anything can really happen. And so I've always felt comfortable with the guys that we have in our program and the leadership, and we always try to give them autonomy so that they can feel like this is their program. And so as a head coach, all I got to do is not mess it up, And so I can lean on the strengths of our program, and which is the people, and and then good things just happen. I think for us, if we focus on the basics and the fundamentals of everything, and for me as a head coach is giving those guys opportunities so they can love each other and take care of each other and feel this camaraderie and this closeness, and then it transfers to the football field. And it's just really difficult when you have an amazing league like what we're playing in with Big 12. So it's nothing is easy. And so you look at the parity and the amount of different champions that they've had every year. And so it's not anything that's an easy fix or easy to figure out. But I feel really good if we have guys that are capable and that have this great camaraderie.
Coach, last year, like James mentioned, Bear Bachmeyer named the starter during the summer. Sort of a rush. He's a freshman, thrust into being the starter. This season, though, he's got the last season under his belt and this full offseason to be the leader. What's been the difference for him having that year of preparation, knowing he's the guy?
Well, I think the major difference is just the patience that our entire team had with that process, and especially with the receivers and the passing game. And we knew going into the season, especially with a true freshman at quarterback, that we would have to do some things a little differently. And a lot of those receivers, thought it was their time to get a lot of stats. And I'm really thankful that they were able to just, sacrifice for the team, and made me feel really good about the type of team that we have and the individuals that are in their program.
Well, that's a really good point with the receivers because, you had like veteran leaders at that position last year and the young, inexperienced quarterback. Well, now you've got the quarterback who's had a full 13-game slate under his belt, but there's a lot of newness at the receiver position, or at least inexperience at that position. So how has that dynamic evolved between those two rooms?
Yeah, I think the timing, what I saw from spring ball, we're going to be fine. And but I say that we still have a lot of work to do, So fine with the talent, but can we put it all together? Can we get the timing? Can we make sure that there's a connection with our quarterback and all the receivers, not just the receiver group, but the tight ends and the running backs as well? And is there a connection from the O-line? The good thing is that we did a great job offensively, that we produced the offensive player of the year with LJ Martin. And so having him to actually have a stability with him and the run game there with Bear, especially in the bowl game. And then now we can we're playing with all our cards, and we can try to figure some things out. But until then, and the receivers will start to make, they're just new names compared to what we've always had. Chase Roberts here for so long that I think sometimes we took it for granted, and now they're going to be kind of new names of some guys that have been there. So there's a lot of talent there, and a lot of playing experience, but maybe just not well-known names like we've had in the past.
Coach, I got to see Bear Bachmeyer down at the Manning Passing Academy a couple weeks ago, and at first when I saw him, he's built like a tight end. He's a big quarterback. I'm curious how you guys think about managing shots on him and hits on him. For a guy that wants to play physical, is not afraid of running the football. How do you balance leaning on that ability and what a weapon he is, also running the football and making plays happen off script, versus also knowing it's a long season, especially if you get in the college football playoff? How do you manage that from a taking hits off of him perspective?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that, because it's him understanding that we don't want to take a lot of shots, and because that's been a big part of his game. I think it's impossible for me to just tell him to stop doing something, and we want him to be aggressive and to have that same mindset. But it's also some of the little things that he can do: take shots, slide, understand where the sticks are, things like this. Just all football IQ stuff that he understands. And then it's also like, hey, your ability to us is more important if you're taking less shots, and him understanding that. I think he's starting to get that from the progress that he's made as a freshman to now. I've been really pleased, because he's a learning machine, so he always wants to figure out ways to get better, and so he's taking that to heart, not just with his game, but also with his with his presence.
Well, I don't think a quarterback can wear jersey number 47 and not take some shots, right? I mean, how awesome is that?
Hey, I don't know anything about the jersey choice other than that's what he's comfortable with, and the way he can throw the ball and run. I'm okay with whatever number he decides to wear.
Right. The other thing that you noted when talking about the receivers, kind of glossed over the tight ends, and really excited about that room and the way you guys utilize that position, which is kind of a market inefficiency right now. Like, more tight ends are getting drafted than ever before. More tight ends are 4- and 5-star recruits than ever before. And it's almost like you guys have been ahead of the game for years, and you look stacked once again. So what can you do with the guys that you brought in there?
Yeah, I mean, Walker Lyons and Roger Saliaponga are two amazing talents that we're bringing in, but we also have guys that are already on the team that they can do it too, with Kian Need and Moyaki, and there's a lot of guys that is full of talent, and we need them. Everyone who wants to be a receiver and wants to catch the ball, whether it's a receiver or a tight end, they have to block. That's that's the prerequisite to playing. You earn your catches by blocking first, and so that's going to be that's the difference between making a big play in the run game and springing a long touchdown is blocking downfield and blocking the line of scrimmage. So tight ends have to block, and if they can block, we already know they can catch. So they earn the right to catch the ball.
What makes you most excited about this group compared to last year's team?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for every year. So everybody's undefeated right now, so we should all be excited. But there's a lot of room to improve, and what I like about this group is that they're not complacent. They want to get better. I look at the way they've approached the weight room and the off season. Their physical part of their bodies it's telling that they care. They've made a lot of changes, and so that's something that I can physically see. The things that you can't see physically, hard work and dedication. So, that doesn't guarantee wins, but it gives you a better chance at it. And so, I feel good about where we're at. We still have a long ways to go, though.
Coach, your offensive line looks really strong. You've got some all-league guys up front. You've added some high-level transfers, and it sounds like that's a theme throughout the entire offense, is you have to block first. So in the trenches, how do you feel about this group compared to maybe this time last year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really confident in our O-line coach. TJ Woods has done a great job with the group, and we invest a lot of coaches in that room. There's 5 guys in the field, and then we even used some of our O linemen as an extra tight end. So at sometime we're going to see 5, maybe 6 O linemen on the field. So we want to be able to make sure that they're capable of being at their best, and being at their best means they got to be physical. That's one of the things that we have to have from them. And that's hard to do when you have a physical league like we were playing in. But that's just the price that you have to pay. The good thing is that we have some really good experience that's returning, and then It all starts up front. So I'm glad you're asking about the O-line. No one ever talks about them enough. So I mean, they're a big part of what we're trying to get done, and I'm glad that we brought Bruce Mitchell is one of our linemen that we brought here today, and I'm glad that he gets a little bit of the spotlight.
Yeah, we can't wait. Can't wait to chat with him later. All right, before we let you go, a fun kind of off the cuff question. Let's get to know you a little bit, Coach. Which app on your phone steals the most of your time, and why? And it can't be email. That's the easy answer.
Well, I think that's the one I look at the most. I would probably say anything to do with sports. I'm looking at, and so scores and yeah. I'm into. Just with the World Cup and everything, getting into that too, and so still not used to the flopping. I didn't like it in the NBA. I definitely don't like it in soccer. So I'm just looking for whoever is going to be a soccer player that doesn't flop. That's going to be my next favorite guy.
Love it.
Yeah, this is probably going to be a goalie then.
Don't have to worry about that in football.
I was a goalie back in the day when we played soccer because I thought goalies didn't have to run. Once they started running like the rest of the team, I was done. Yeah.
Like I'm out. Awesome stuff. Coach, appreciate your time. Best of luck this season.
Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
BYU head coach Kalani Sitake here at Big 12 Football Media Days. More after this. This is Big 12 Today on Big 12 Radio, watched on Big 12 Studios.